Let's continue working on the front matter of our book. In this lesson, we are going to introduce a dedication page, an acknowledgements page, and we're also going to talk about generating a table of contents. Generating a table of contents is going to be especially easy because of a previous lesson where we spoke about heading styles. So let's open our manuscript file. The first thing we want to do is include our acknowledgements and our dedication. I'm going to scroll down to the copyright page. In the last lesson, we inserted a copyright page, and I'm going to introduce a page break. You can introduce a page break by clicking on Insert to the top and then introducing a page break. By now, you should be comfortable with the difference between a page break and a section break. In the raw files folder, I have included text for my dedication and text for my acknowledgements. Let's open acknowledgements, and I would copy and paste the content of this file over to my acknowledgements page. I've copied the text by selecting all using the shortcut Ctrl and A and then Ctrl and C to copy. Let's close that off. Your dedication falls on a right-facing page. When I paste the text, it's pasted as Times New Roman size 12. For consistency, I am going to choose this to Garamond, and I'm going to set the font size to 12. So it looks good. I'm going to center align the text, and I'm going to go over to the Layout tab and set the spacing before to be 108. So we have our acknowledgement. The next thing I want to include is my dedication. This book is dedicated to my 2 daughters. I want that dedication to fall on a right-facing page. I'm going to give myself some breathing room, and under the Insert tab, I'm going to include a page break. When I click page break, I want you to note that this is page 6. You could see that down in the bottom left-hand corner in Microsoft Word. Page 6 is an even page. It is not a right-facing page. Right-facing pages are odd pages. So what do? I am going to insert a new page break. And that takes me over to page 7, which is a right-facing page. And on this right-facing page, I am going to paste the contents of my dedication. In the raw files folder, I have a doc called dedication.doc. Here's my dedication. I'm going to copy the contents and I'm going to paste it over to my manuscript. I need to change the font to Garamond, the font size to 12. You could make this bigger if you like. I'm going to center align it, and on my Layout tab, I'm going to introduce a spacing of 108 before the line. Let's talk about the table of contents. Similarly, my table of contents should fall on a right-facing page. This is page 7, so that means I have to introduce 2 new page breaks. The first page break is going to take me to page 8, and the second page break is going to take me to page 9, where I could insert my table of contents. On the Insert menu, I am going to introduce a new page break. That takes me to page 8. Give myself some room to operate, and I'm going to introduce another page break, which takes me down to page 9. In a previous lesson, I mentioned that heading styles could be used to generate table of contents, a fantastic feature. If we jump over to references, I have an option where I could automatically include a table of contents. When you click the down arrow, you have the option to create a custom table of contents. The window that pops up gives us different options when generating a table of contents. For example, if you want to show page numbers, yes we do, because this is a paperback book that we are formatting. You have options to right align the page numbers. Maybe you want to have leading dots between the chapter name and the page number. It's entirely up to you. I am going to choose the default options to see what is generated. And there we go. We now have a table of contents. You can hide the formatting marks to see how it looks. This is what it looks like. And if you like, you could also adjust the font and the line spacing for your table of contents. I could also highlight the table of contents and change the line spacing to give it a different feel. The ball is in your court. We could change this to italics by hitting Ctrl and I on the keyboard or clicking the I option under the font tab. How this looks is entirely up to you. If you had 10, 20, or 100 chapters formatted using heading styles, they would appear as part of your table of contents. That is one of the great advantages of using heading styles to format your Microsoft Word document. Towards the end, we will revisit the front matter to see how it is formatted. In the next lesson, we will be moving on to the body matter, dealing with the page headings and footers. Something to note is that your very first chapter should begin on a right-facing page. Currently in this document, our book starts on an even page, page 10. So to fix this, I'm going to introduce a page break. I'm going to jump over to the Insert tab and insert a page break. So we now have page 10, which is a left-facing page. It is blank. And our book begins on page 11, an odd page, which is a right-facing page. In the next lesson, we will start to talk about the body matter of your book.